all to play for. Also looking at the Canadian athlete there, Hamed, he's still there. 5K, 10K specialist. He's got a couple of silvers at the Commonwealth Games last year. So he'll be taking really good. Really pleased that he's still banging on there at this point.
Ahmed's a class act. He was really good value for that silver last year in the Com Games. Inside the last 8 laps then, 64 plus bits. Crippa is doing really well to hang on. European bronze medalist last year, the Italian, just on the left of your picture, as Alex Corrio, the third of the Kenyans, just begins to struggle a fraction. As these laps tick down, the Ethiopians will be getting excited. Leilisa Desisa headed home. Mosinet Gedamu for an Ethiopian 1-2 in the marathon. As Ahmed now comes up wide on the outside. Kenya 1 and 2, Uganda 3, Canada 4. And Lopez Lamong, the US champion over 5 and 10,000 metres, coming up onto the shoulder of the 3 Ethiopians who are still quite content to let all the others do the work.
Yeah, a real interesting character is Lamong. He's had a string of injuries. He was the US champion at 1500 metres, so maybe he's still got some speed in his legs. That was a decade ago now, in 2009. But he had a string of injuries between 2014 and 18, and then he's come back this year, a decade later, to claim the US titles over 5K and 10K, and he sits himself there nicely, moving up in the pack in 4th position now.
Once again, the Kenyans forcing the pace. Ronex Kipruto, the second fastest man in history over the 10K on the roads. Ahmed is running brilliantly in 2nd place. And all of a sudden, we've lost Shadrach Kipchirchir and the third of the Kenyans, Alex Corrio. So we have 2 Kenyans, 3 Ethiopians, 1 Canadian and 1 American in the hunt for the gold, silver and bronze here in the last individual event to be contested by the men in Doha. Just the 4x4 to come on the men's calendar. 6 laps to go now in this fascinating men's 10,000 metre final. The world cross-country champion showing all his strength at the moment, but he has the 2nd fastest man in history over 10K behind him. And look now at Kwemoy coming past the shoulder of the Canadian. The 2 Kenyans talking to each other, and once again the 2 front runners just can't bear to see the other dominating the pace. This is really intriguing.
Yeah, if I was Joseph Cheptai now, I'd be really pleased that I don't have to lead for a little bit longer. He won a silver medal 2 years ago at the World Champs in London, and you just see that he responds now to Kipchirchir. He just follows the pace, and he's just get himself there between the 2 Kenyan athletes.
The 2 front runners, almost side by side, determined not to be outdone by the other. 5 laps to go now, and still we can't tell which one of these hugely talented men will be taking the title. It's just outside 27-minute pace, and all of a sudden we are now once again single file. But look at Bailu. We haven't spoken much about the third of the Ethiopians. He comes onto the shoulder of Kwemoy. They're playing a canny game here, the Ethiopians, Jenny. They're letting the Ugandan and the Kenyan tire themselves out by sharing the front running. None of the 3 of them, and they are 3 of the fastest in the world this year, none of them have taken a turn at the front.
Yeah, and that's the real economical way of doing it, isn't it? It hurts you when you keep surging towards the front. Sometimes these athletes try to do that. They tire themselves out doing that, of course, but they're hoping to really tire the rest of the opposition out as well. But just as you say that, we can just see that they're just there in 3rd, 5th and 6th position. And I'm just watching Lamong now. He's just dropped back to around about 8th position. He looked good 2 laps ago, but he looks like he's just struggling to keep on the back of this pack now.
The crowd are really beginning to sense a burn-up is coming between these distance-running powerhouse nations. Kenya against Ethiopia, with North American interest at the back of the group. That's Mande. Remember, he's being lapped, so don't get confused as he shouts encouragement to his compatriot Joshua Cheptegei. Mande is a fine cross-country runner, but he paid the price for setting the pace early on. Another lapped runner that they're going past has not moved out. It's Kwizera, the Burundian, who was 11th in the World Cross Country Championships. They'll go past him quite quickly. Really and truly, he should be moving to the outside, maybe showing a little bit of inexperience. 3 laps to go now in the final of the men's 10,000 metres. Cheptegei still leading. Kipruto right behind him. When will the break come, and who will it be?
Well, we get lots of statistics in our computer, and it's always every 200 metres. Well, this will be quite funny because the leaders change so many times. Whoever's putting those data and those statistics in will be getting dizzy almost. The leaders change so many times. But it has to increase. The kick has to go in at some point soon. And there's just 1,000 metres to go now, 2.5 laps.
One of the 3 Ethiopians has been dropped. That's the first significant breakthrough. Yomif Kajelcha is still in that group. And I think it's Hagos Gebrhiwet, which would be a real shock if he's gone. It is Hagos Gebrhiwet now. 25 metres or so off the back. He was the man the Ethiopians thought might do it. But it's Kajelcha and Baliu from Ethiopia who are still in the mix here. Joshua Cheptegei relentlessly paws on the pace. But look who's coming up behind him. Ronex Kipruto, the teenage world junior champion over 10,000. And Yomif Kajelcha in 3rd. There's the tall figure. I first saw him in the Youth Olympic Games in 2014. He was absolutely outstanding. We're gearing up for a big finish. They will be coming past lapped athletes. And a mark of how fast this has got towards the end. Kifle is a brilliant cross-country runner. He's about to be lapped as they come up towards the bell. A great final lap in prospect. They take the bell then as the crowd roar. This is the final of the men's 10,000 metres. It's Uganda against Ethiopia against Kenya. How many times these great rivalries have played out on the global stage. Ronex Kipruto in 3rd, still a teenager. And look at Kajelcha. He's pouring on the pace, pouring on the pressure on the outside. So often he's come up short in the outdoor championships. Cheptegei trying to become Uganda's first world champion over 10,000 metres. He looks over his shoulder. Kipruto has settled for the bronze. What a finish here, side by side. Who's got the heart? Who's got the belief? Who's got the hundreds and hundreds of miles in their legs? And the answer to that question, for the first time in history, it's Joshua Cheptegei. A Ugandan becomes the world champion over 10,000 metres. Yomif Kajelcha the silver, and the teenager Ronex Kipruto takes the bronze. It got so much quicker over the last few laps. The Commonwealth champion becomes the world champion, and he will be the toast of Uganda tonight. He was brilliant in that race. Kajelcha made his move down the back straight. The Ugandan held the final bend, and even though he's got nothing left, in a minute he will embark on a richly deserved, truly historic lap of honour. Uganda's first male global champion over 10,000 metres. And what a way to win it.
Well, Uganda are having a fantastic championships, aren't they? There's lots of fans in the arena to cheer on the Ugandans. And he looked good. He was never far from the front the whole time. Looked really, really relaxed, did Cheptegei. Well, Kajelcha, I'm not sure whether he's too happy with that, but that's his only second ever 10,000 metres that he's ran. He was third in the Ethiopian Championships in his debut over the event. And I'm just looking actually at the finish time. That actually will be the fastest time in the world this year, which is quite surprising. It shows how much the race really churned up over the last half particularly. And that's the reason that we saw the 12 down to 8 and finally down to 3. Wow, what a race that one was.
What a finish to this 10,000 metre race. Cheptegei repeats what he did last year for Commonwealth glory, but this time it's a global gold. An amazing finish, beating Yomif Kejelcha, a prodigious junior who's now developing into a wonderful senior 10,000 metre runner. Joshua Cheptegei with the fastest time in the world this year. Such strength and heart over the last 50. Yomif Kejelcha takes the silver and Ronex Kipruto a brilliant bronze. Sondre Moen of Norway came home in 12th. 18 men finishing a classic race.